Optimus in the final battle, there were a few things. First, I'm not killing off any of the Dinobots like the game did, sadly. Because I love the Dinobots. They're pretty fun to mess with and use as characters. So a lot of these, there'll be a lot of things. I may react some deaths from the game, like maybe Bumblebee, because I mean, you can't just kill off like a favorite Autobot right then and there, even if it is a villain what if, or Decepticon what if. You can't just kill Bumblebee, like you can't just do that, like. So yeah, Bumblebee, instead of being shot by Megatron, he would still be alive. I got a decent amount of people that are, main cast would stay alive. Cliff Jumper, which I believe was actually the first one on the arc. Yeah, I'll say like all the casts, RC, like all of them, side casts, mid casts to main casts, would all still be alive. All the ones that have died, like Shockwave, and practically him after getting chomped down by my boy Grimlock, after turning into a T-Rex, chopping him down in the Tower of Rust, I believe they called it. Yeah. Do I want to add the Titans? Like, what was his name? That Titan's name that helped them out in the war. I can't remember the one. It's been so long since I played the game, but it's one of my favorite games till this day. Well, I may add him since he was technically the only one I saw from the game as a Titan, so why not? So I'll have him, but more of the end of him being more of after his energon supply ran low into the arc. I'll say his mental, his mind transferred to the arc as well. So instead of the arc being destroyed, will crash into Earth or any other planet, the arc will actually stay intact. Yes, a little destroyed here and there, but they would still be alive. So I'm still adding that Titan. Why? Because he's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Bruticus will still be alive after being shot by, I believe, Ratchet with a missile into the abyss. So yeah, he'll still be alive. A lot of characters I just revived somehow. Don't know how. I'll say Bumblebee somehow got revived, but I'll say the first ones that died in the game were the first ones to occur on planet Earth. Kind of like a time skip, almost like the Spider-Verse. How Gwen Stacy was one of the last ones to leave, but at the same time she was one of the first ones. In fact, 2 weeks before everyone came to actual Earth. So that's how I'm gonna have Bumblebee, which I'm gonna have them to the point where there was World War II Bumblebee. Cause I mean, yeah. So World War II Bumblebee will be a thing. A couple. I might have to add some older versions of the characters, or maybe newer versions of that character that died, to kind of balance out the loss. Do I want to add Unicron? Nah, because I already have Unicron in the other what if. So now, same thing with the goddess. So I'll just say their creation was a mystery. The Allspark will not exist, by the way, so that's not a thing. Yeah. Maybe I may have it created in there. Just not right now. I'm pretty sure they killed off Grimlock in the game. Pretty sure. After the Tower of Rust exploded. Pretty sure he kind of died from that. So I'll bring him back. I mean, I'm bringing everyone back, so I mean, yeah. So I'm pretty sure Bumblebee would be the first, or one of the first. Technically one of the first, but yes, but no. So he'll be one of the first Autobots, I guess, or one of the favorites to kind of be in Earth. I'll say he landed in like a week before or like a day before World War I. And after that, he didn't he didn't really interact with any humans until the midway through World War I. And then eventually he would be with the group, and then eventually become World War II, Bumblebee. As time went on, a lot of casts will be here, and there would be revival. The only difference is that it is a what if Deku, so for plot convenience, I'll say yes, when Optimus did kind of stab Megatron through the heart, or technically through, their spark, I guess it's called. So, when he kind of went into the rift, or, technically when everyone else went to the rift, but you know what I mean. When he went into the rift after, the fall of Cybertron, they kind of... Yes, it did destroy his, spark, but it kind of didn't. See, what I mean is that... Okay, so... What I'm going to say is that if a person, or if an Autobot, or a Cybertronian, just... Because, Cybertrons are technically everyone. So, if a Cybertronian isn't fully intact, they'll be ripped apart and then reformed into a new, thing, or a newer version, older version of themselves. Since Bumblebee died, his body or corpse was ripped apart and then reformed into, World War II Bumblebee. So yeah. Same with a couple other characters. Bruticus was ripped apart and eventually became... what I want to change him? He's a pretty good character. Yeah, I'll keep him for now. Either that, or I made him change him to a different, or maybe change him to a construction bot, maybe, and then turn into another, fuller transformer Titan thing. I don't know. I can't remember his name. Constructor? Nah, it wasn't like that. It was something similar to that though. You all should know what I'm getting at this. If he doesn't end up coming back and becoming Bruticus, I would turn him into, the dude from, Age of Fallen, Fallen, from the Fallen, Transformers Fallen, I think it was called, the movie. So yeah, he'd be the giant dude who kind of ripped apart, the, sand pyramid. So yeah, he might turn into that, but for now, yeah. Who else? I'll say a couple. Yeah, I'll say a couple other ones die here and there, but mostly get reformed. A lot of ones that have died have been reformed. So yeah. So, meaning Shockwave. I'll say while, they opened up the wormhole, they did kind of bring Cybertron with them. Because I'll say the wormhole got so big, it kind of took Cybertron with it. So kind of having it in a distance, a 2 days worth trip from Earth. So yeah, at least towards, Autobot, Decepticon standards, technically. Due to their technology being far superior than, modern technology of Earth. As we go to Megatron, or technically, sorry, not Megatron, to, Optimus. Optimus wakes up. Where am I? Ugh. All I remember was fighting Megatron. Autobots, roll out! As he'll notice that, he was still on the move to, continue the war, but what Optimus didn't know is that the war has already ended. Neither side won. In fact, both of their kind of parts, or practically, they kind of shattered. The Ark went to Earth, as you know. The other spaceship, the Decepticon spaceship, went to the moon. So yeah. So kind of a space battle, if you know what I mean. Why not? If I ever need a space episode where da 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 for reasons. Anyways, yes, I'll say since a portion of the other ship was connected to the Ark, I'll say part of the ship did land to Earth. And I'll say if you like the main, the main room, where Megatron was, or no, because he wasn't in the main room. He was fighting on top of the spaceship. So, I'll say whatever place, Megatron was at. I'll say he was on the not moon, but I'll say all the unique characters landed on the moon, like Lockdown. Should I quintessence? Nah, quintessence. Nah. Maybe. But no, because I feel like they kind of overdo it. So, I'll say Lockdown, Soundwave, a couple other ones, couple other characters are also on the moon. As we see, the difference between Megatron was that when he was jabbed through the heart, you would say, he was split in two. Or his, Matrix. Or, what was it called again? Spark was split in two. Kind of like the brothers, the green and orange brother. Kind of like that. But different in a sort of way. I morally mean that, yes, Megatron's body is on the moon, but his spark is on Earth. And so they kind of, after a while, they kind of went undercover to find out what the human race was. Trying to get info upon the human race, like star screens on Earth. Like it's kind of divided. Not gonna lie, somewhat divided, but more of like a 60-40 ratio. So yeah, I'll say Shockwave's on the moon, because that'd be pretty cool. Moon Driller. Da 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 da. Anyways, we got his flip. I keep on forgetting the word. Spark. We go to Megatron's spark as a sword is inside his spark. As it separated him for kind of separated the body from the spark itself. As the spark itself went to Earth, crashing down on a meteor. Crashing down on a meteor. A lot of Decepticons and Autobots kind of felt this frequency. The Cybertronian language frequency that's coming to Earth. Unlike Optimus, though, who's been on Earth for about a decent amount of time. I'll say he's been there a decent amount of time. As Optimus senses this, and he doesn't sense in any intentions. He senses some type of unknown presence, you would say. Or he feels this is a Decepticon, but lost. Like it hasn't found, its natural home. As we go to a young, I guess Izuku Midoriya, technically. So yeah, I know it's kind of confusing. It's like, wait, isn't Izuku supposed to be? Yeah, I am doing that. Just hold on for a bit. As we go to a young Izuku Midoriya, about the age of I'll say maybe 3-ish. And I'll say about 3-ish. So you see, Izuku Midoriya is I'll say his, on a camping trip or something. Nah, I use that reference too much. Something that's not... But that's not something to use, though. I'll say, they're just walking around. Where? I don't know. I'll say, there's... Yeah, that's like the simplest thing I can use. So yeah, when you go to a young Izuku, he's walking with his mother, right? There was something weird. Everyone, every electronic in the world kind of, the bigger picture came in as, everything kind of shut off for like 5 seconds and then everything on Earth turned back on. As we see, this meteor, this bluish, purplish meteor coming down from Earth. As it's, it's coming closer and closer at a very rapid rate. And, it starts going to, eventually getting hit by a meteor on the way. It kind of changed direction towards Japan. Which eventually, if came to, the city. And Deku, he was in a park, a very, isolated park. Not isolated park, but kind of like a... Think of a forest park almost. So yeah, kind of like a big area. So Deku's playing around. He just sees this giant glowing object. And 3-year-old's like, ooh. So yeah. Not gonna lie, it came closer and closer to Deku as Inko tried to, push Deku out the way, but she was too far away as not gonna lie. That, meteor kind of struck Deku right in the middle. So, kind of making Deku go flying. Or kind of being indented in, the rocks. As everyone sees, a child practically got hit by a meteor. Yeah. The difference, though, is that when they got Midoriya out from the rubble... They couldn't find, medics were called to remove the meteor from on top of Midoriya. They found out that everything from, inside the chest was replaced by this metal-like substance. This metal, and metal material. Metal sphere-like thing. They noticed that they were able to take it out. The only way they were able to take it out is if they killed Deku first. Which they kind of had to leave it in, and eventually, Deku would be in a coma for about 3 years. No, Deku's... 2 years passed, Deku's in a coma for like 2 years. So, what would happen is that Deku, without a heart, would kind of wake up in like a... weird fashion, because he would like just stand up, kind of like a Micah Myers-esque fashion, like, where am I, Mom? As he looks through his mother, as his mother's crying, as they, I'll say Hisashi left, because he's like, he's quirkless, we found this out, like, this year, he's quirkless, like, why am I staying? And I'll say, he left some, I'll say Hisashi, he left when he was like, when the event actually happened, for reasons, because he heard the price, the amount of money it had to be removed, and for Deku to still survive, which was tremendous. Even though Deku wouldn't have survived, even if they did pay the money, but I mean yeah, he kind of went to go get the milk, as Inko and doctors would be surprised. Because I'll say he woke up mid-surgery of, trying to figure out what this thing was. Messing around with, an alien, spark. I'm not going to lie, they did try to, kind of take out the power source to, use it for, science. I'll say the government's also there. But what, the thing was, it was weird. When Deku woke up, his, his entire aura and, you know, forte kind of changed. Like that child, kind of rank his age kind of to the intelligence of, like, I'll say maybe a 5th grader. Maybe, I'll say about like a 10th, no, that'd be too smart. Yeah, about a 5th grader, yeah, I'll say about 5th grader. So his intelligence will dramatically be increased. A lot. And the thing was that he would wake up as his eyes will start glowing. As when he woke up, there's kind of a shockwave almost, where, you know, the entire room kind of shut off and then turned back on with the activation of Megatron's spark. As, you know, back at, you know, the moon, all the Decepticons, you know, around, you know, Megatron's, you know, body, Megatron's body kind of flinched and kind of twitched as everyone saw this. As with the BS they have of technology, they kind of, you know, immediately know, and, you know, where, you know, their spark, you know, his spark is at. Because they just do. I don't know what you want me to say. Kind of like what they did in the Bumblebee movie. How, you know, they kind of used, you know, Cliff Jumper's frequency to kind of find out where Bumblebee was. So kind of like that. So yeah. They immediately, you know, got to, you know, Megatron's body, you know, kind of loaded his body. I say they rebuilt the ship, but not to the point of, you know, actual flight. I'll say they kind of took apart the ship somewhat and, you know, made smaller ships out of it. So, you know, they started, you know, dragging, you know, Megatron's body through space as, you know, I'll say Shockwave was in, you know, command at the time of the moon. So, at the same time, you know, they're also getting, you know, signals from, like, Earth. So, you know, they didn't really have a power source until, you know, someone eventually broke open the energon supply on the ship, or kind of used the ship's reactor. So, yeah. As they bring Megatron's body to Earth. Where am I? Where am I? And the more of a deeper tone that Deku's baby voice can handle, it's got a deep tone, which surprises the doctors, but at the same time, the funny thing was that he woke up as they had, you know, because you can see the, you know, art, you know, the not Matrix, the so what I keep forgetting the name for it. His spark. Like, they literally, like, part of his spark was, like, removed. As, you know, they had tools inside of Deku's spark, the spark, which woke Deku up. And, you know, the first thing Deku did, kind of grab the tools, broke the man's hand, almost completely, like, just dislodged it, practically. You know, kind of, like, all the metal that kind of was touching the, you know, the spark was, you know, kind of rebuilding, you know, the parts that were removed. Same as, you know, the parts that were removed kind of, you know, went back to him. So, yeah, Deku no longer has to breathe air and whatnot. He practically has a spark. Or human spark thing. I don't know what he is. Like a hybrid-ish way. So, the difference was Deku's body mutated from this. You know, it mutated, gathering all the metal in the room, becoming something like Squeaks, but more of a final, you know, form-ish. So think of a, think of Lockdown or one of his minions, but shrink down to like human size. So yeah. As you know, all technology in the room kind of connected with Deku. Where am I? As Deku's arm was covered in this metal. Where am I? Who are you all? As you know, his mother would come to hug him. It's okay, I'm here. as Inko would, hug a Deku. Deku is about 6, I believe, like 5 to 6-ish. A month from being, his birthday, but yeah. Deku, he was confused as all hell, not gonna lie, confused. And then he looked down at his chest and just started, like, hyperventilating, like, what is this thing in my chest? Am I Iron Man? JK. JK, not like that, but, he did start hyperventilating, though. Eventually he did calm down naturally due to the spark, He did become a lot more aggressive, though, not gonna lie. Because, it's Megatron. Megatron's supposed to be aggressive, so yeah. As the Autobots in Prime found that Lord Megatron, or, Megatron has now landed on Earth. Find him, Autobots. Or kind of more of a protect Earth way, so yeah. Over a couple years now, Bakugo and, him, it's kind of a weird relationship because Bakugo always, says, look at you, you can't even defeat me with all that metal around you, you loser. And then, as soon as, Bakugo does try to talk crap, this man's arm just turns into a cannon and is like, yo, I was just joking, loser. I don't know what happened. I don't know how this, can somebody help me? I don't know how to have my arm back. It's kind of replaced by this cannon. Can somebody help me? Like, as it started to, charge up and fire, which scared the living crap out of Bakugo, like, so yeah. As people do call, Deku does have malfunctions. Because, random parts of his body would, transform into, either weapons or just anything, I guess. To kind of take a form of, anything that can, advance him, I guess. So think of, if you've seen, I believe, last night, where Squeaks had that Decepticon arm, that's practically the arm that Deku has, or technically both the arms Deku has. So he has the, the Decepticon arms. And, this symbol would, appear on Deku's, shoulder. As, the Decepticon symbol would appear. And Deku, over the age of time, he would get a persona or personality that kind of outbeats Bakugo in, like, a lot of angles. Out of, he's not just more aggressive than Bakugo by a long shot, but he's also superior when it comes to intelligence. Which scares a lot of people. Like, he knows things that not even most adults know, which kind of terrifies them. And, Deku, he does, go to, dig up a beach to, get some scrap. So, Deku, not gonna lie, he does have, he does build Cybertronian-like technology with only the stuff in the beach. He does, kind of have a lot of scrap, and kind of like Rick from Rick and Morty, kind of turns, junk into, flipping destruction, or, weapons of destruction, mass destruction. So, yeah. That's practically Deku's mind. But it's more of a Cybertronian technology he creates on that beach, and that beach kind of he kind of claimed it. Not gonna lie. He does have, I'll say reasoning. I'll say not Blackout. What was his name? What was that dude's name? I can't remember. Hold up. I'll be like there, like right there. Hold up. What was his name? His name was. Okay, can you get his name, please? Name was Birdcage. Yeah. Deku, he did find a couple of junk. He did find a couple, car parts and whatnot. So eventually, his mind did start to get curious, and he eventually created Barricade. Of course, he doesn't have an actual spark, but I'll say what he did was kind of use his, kind of like how Soundwave or Shockwave has Laserbeak. I believe no, Soundwave has Laserbeak. That's practically what Barricade is to Deku. He's kind of like Laserbeak, so he doesn't have a spark, or he does, but they kind of. It's weird, you would say, because one of them has a spark and the other one doesn't. So yeah, more of Deku is a Laserbeak to Barricade, but it's weird. As Barricade is confused, but at the same time, as soon as he's created, he kneels to Deku, Lord Megatron. As he would hear he would kneel Lord Megatron, which would confuse Deku, but due to it being Megatron's spark, it will instantly give his creations the name of their master, Megatron, which Deku kind of, he does like the name. He's not gonna lie, he does like the name. He's like, kind of fancy, not gonna lie, pretty cool. As Barricade will be created, and eventually, not Blackout, because I'm pretty sure Blackout's a helicopter. So Blackout, a couple other vehicles. But for now, I will only give Barricade for now, due to Barricade being he's easy to blend in, because he's a cop car, so I mean, he's very easily blendable in the community. So yeah. He wouldn't tell his mother that at all, because no one I'm not gonna lie, he did kind of make a gate over the Dagobah Beach, so he kind of claimed it, because at the same time he sees himself as more superior than people, because I mean, technically he's a Cybertronian, so I mean, technically he's a human, so yeah. So he sees himself higher than people, and he just claimed Dagobah Beach because of the amount of scrap. I'll say it does have a bit more scrap and a bit more useful stuff. So Barricade, he does Barricade first does look dusty, very dusty. But after touching Deku would get the Cybertronian, not Cybertronian metal. I guess somewhat, because I'll say I'll say Dagobah Beach, under Dagobah Beach was, a seed. If you all know what that is from, last night, or, yeah, the seed that kind of makes, Transformium. So, yeah. Yeah. So, don't worry, Deku would eventually, find it, use it on, all the wildlife in the water, having, a decent amount of things. So, if one of the cartoons, I believe, or one of the shows, they do have, a Decepticon base underwater. Which, yeah. Which Barricade kind of like, now he's Cybertronium. So, yeah, he can transform, but he can't transform yet due to him not scanning anything yet. So he's still a rusty, Cybertronium. Or a human made, technically. It's weird how he's made, but anyways. What would happen is that Deku, unlike his old body, Megatron would kind of gain, the last night Megatron body. Instead of his old body. From, Cybertron's fall, or fall of Cybertron. So, yes. And, he does visit, in and out, here and there, his mother. On the daily, by the way, because, I mean, he's still, 6? This man got, the IQ of 1,000,000 by the age of 6, bruh. It's not even Deku anymore, it's not Megatron, but it's not Deku. More of a development stage, if you will. So, kind of, fuck around and find out, not gonna lie. So yeah, that's practically what Deku's personality is right now. Okay. Barricade. I need you to stay here while I go visit my mother. Try to collect things from the sea, and I'll try to find you some sort of form to take. I can't have people see you and, they immediately think, oh, villain, shoot him. Like, no. Sorry, Barricade. I wish the world wasn't like this. Just shoot anything they don't understand, but sadly, my friend. Sadly. As what would happen now is that Barricade will continue, and eventually, Barricade does get a little curious, and, due to him being a part of, Deku, technically, he would eventually be too curious and eventually try to walk out of Deku Beach. And for reasons, I'll say, there were very... What was the activity called? Suspicious activity in Deku Beach. Which eventually led a couple cops there, or, a cop car. Which, Barricade will scan. Ah, thanks, now I got a form. Practically rolls out. As does the hologram with, oh yeah, no one's here. Yeah, the same person called me. Yeah, there's nothing suspicious here. As Barricade continues to, follow Deku. As, without Deku's knowing, Barricade will follow him for, like the next, who knows how long. Deku goes back to school. And this is the funny part, too. Deku's about 7, 8-ish right now. Yeah, Bakugo's gotta, he's about to fuck around and find out, practically. What I mean by this, if you don't know, Barricade to Lord Megatron is very loyal. And he's very intimidating, like a corrupt cop almost. I believe his personality was. And if you not know how scary he was in the first movie when he, kind of interrogated Sam, which was terrifying. If you know what I'm going with this, Bakugo's not going to be very, He about to realize why you should not, fuck around and find out, so yeah. Good luck, my friend. You about to get jumped by, like, a giant 20-foot robot, so yeah. As you see, Megatron, or, it would be a day, or technically a couple, they'll be in space. Starscream would, try to, he would be, a captain, or a lord, or, boss to a couple Decepticons that are on Earth. So, yeah. But that doesn't matter, though. What matters is Deku, so yeah. Deku... The thing was, Deku's connection with Barricade is more towards anger and justice. At least towards Cybertronians. So, Barricade represents justice, Cybertronian justice, and anger. So yeah, that's practically what he does. Or, not anger, but he kind of represents Cybertronian justice. On at least the Decepticon side, of course. Which, how he summons, or kind of, how Barricade follows Deku is by his anger. So, he was kind of wandering the streets without knowing anything. Eventually, he does feel a bit anger. He does feel like, the call of Megatron, which Deku's anger will kind of be a call to, his creations. Which Barricade will be like, my master's in trouble. My master's angry. I gotta go help him. Just like 100 miles per hour. Do Fast and Furious. Okay, they stop. As you know, we go to Deku, which Deku right now is being jumped by like several people. And I mean several. A couple people did, a lot of people were scared of Deku. Including Bakugo himself. Which eventually, I'll say there are, it's the end of the school, they're kind of in the back of the school. Oh, like I'll say an abandoned building away from the school, a bit away from the school, which Deku's getting wailed on. As I'll say one of the kids has some type of negating, or not, because you can't negate something because this isn't a quirk. I'll say they had some type of drawback ability where you kind of reverse your steps, type of a quirk, which annoys the heck out of Deku since Deku can't use any of his cannons or any weapons by self-defense. Which he's getting the ass beating out of him. The can of the whoop ass. So yeah. He's getting beat up. Getting pretty angry. And that's when, Deku's arm starts to transform bigger. As something within Deku, the roar appears. Furious, monstrous like roar, mechanical roar, roars out of Deku. I am Megatron! As they're kind of surrounding him, and very rapidly, Deku, he starts to take parts from, I'll say it's some type of, abandoned warehouse building. No warehouse building, but some type of abandoned shop or something where they're beating Deku at. Which Deku, something happens to Deku. His body, he starts to rapidly change. His body, his skin, metal starts to appear, transforming Deku's body into some sort of stronger version of Megatron himself. Which I'm pretty sure the last night is the second strongest version of Megatron, next to the OG version of Megatron of the movies. So yeah. Which, yes, I guess he would be weaker, but I mean, technically still strong. So I mean, yeah. He does look cooler, but I mean, yeah. As Deku begins to grow. As everyone, all the lackeys or all the students try to, run out the shop. And what would happen now? And they got blocked off by Barricade. Barricade comes in. Lord Megatron, what the kids, I just imagine the horror on the kids' faces, bro. They're like, who are you? As I'm not gonna lie, Barricade de-transforms, like, in public. Because I say it is an abandoned building, but, people are still around. Which, Barricade transforms midway. Lord Megatron, who are you, Bakugo? Like, he kind of gives out numbers. Because I say, instead of, the Cybertronians, instead of having names, actual names for humans, I'll say they number every human. Which, Barricade will announce, are you blah 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 number, and then give him every human in cyber, or had at least this version of Decepticons from Deku's side, they each give a human a serial number, which Barricade screams at Bakugo Katsuki. He's like, are you 10 or something, just run serial number here, insert here. So yeah. As Bakugo's confused and flippin' terrified. As the kids are just running away. As all they try to run back. As all they see is this behemoth of a monster. So yes. As they see the eyes, as we go to space, the eyes of Megatron have became red. As Megatron's body starts to repair itself. What do I mean by this? Yeah! We're having 2 Megatrons! Let's go! Oh, I'm so evil. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, we're gonna have 2 Megatrons. Let's go, bro. Da-da-da-da, yeah! Megatron! He awakens. And in this time, he's a lot, like, due to Deku having the spark of Megatron, I'll say Deku is a lot more aggressive. Because, Megatron, technically first Megatron, technically. Says Deku's technically second Megatron. So, yeah. First Megatron wakes up without a spark. Which, technically counts as Deku's creation, but not. Since it was before him. if you want going with this, so yeah, technically both of them, you know, like, you know, Laserbeak have that connection with, you know, Deku. Which everyone's like, oh snap, Lord Megatron awakens. Lord Megatron, what should we do? As you know, Lord Megatron, have coordinates, go to Earth, now. Because, you know, I'll say, you know, if Deku dies, they both die. Or technically all three of them die. Barricade, Megatron, and him. So technically both of them are Megatron. And, you know, one of them... You know how I mean. So, yeah. You know, Deku... Barricade is fine. Scram, human scum. You have awakened your transformation, Lord Megatron. Your true form, Megatron. I am glad to see you in your form. Your true form. I am too, Barricade. I am too. What are the connections with other Cybertronians? Or the Decepticons? We have limits on our resources at Dagobah Beach. Of course, police have started interrogating the gate of Dagobah Beach, of course. What should I do? Should I disintegrate them? Should I get rid of them? Lord Megatron? Let them be for now. They may be of use for us. Of course, after the favor you did for me, after killing the FBI agents. But of course, if you will, if you want, you can take them out. If they are getting too curious. As a couple more years pass, you know, Inko doesn't expect a thing at all. She don't expect Zeta, nada. Why? Like a Power Ranger, this man can practically transform in and out of his last night Megatron form. So yeah, like a Power Ranger, in and out instantly. Like, bruh. She don't expect a thing. That's how good Deku is on hiding secrets and, you know, hiding things. The IQ of, like, an alien, and then, you know, flipping everything, so yeah. So, Deku is now 15. You know, I'll say, you know, eventually, you know, I'll say there was, you know, a stampede, because, you know, besides Deku bullying bullying back Bakugo on that time, there was also a villain attack which knocked, you know, I'll say the person had like a knockout quirk which kind of knocked, you know, everyone in, you know, the entire vicinity out. Kind of like Midnight's quirk, but like, instead of making them sleep, it knocks them out. Kind of like a tear gas. Yeah, it was more of a tear gas like thing. So kind of, yeah, like that. After that's happening, there would be a, you know, they would all be sent to the hospital, of course, like 100 and something people be sent to the hospital. So yeah, to, you know, they would all think it would be a dream that, you know, they just saw practically. They wouldn't say anything, but, you know, that's until, you know, the end of, you know, Deku would be 15, and eventually stuff would about to be get down. As you know, Bakugo, his curiosity piqued him. Deku, you know what I mean? Did it actually happen? And what was that, your quirk or something? As you know, he considered it, you know, I'll say Bakugo does have a book, or Deku does have a book still. And, you know, Bakugo threw it like in canon, Deku did nothing, because, I mean, he's superior to them. He doesn't have to do anything, because he's the bigger person, so yeah. Figuratively and literally, so yeah. So now we go to the effects. It would be, you know, the end of the school year, as Deku would be freed from the pain of having to be near these humans for his entire life. He hates humans, but, you know, not all of them. Like, you know, Nitro Zeus are, you know, kind of having somewhat the same personality as Nitro Zeus. Not all, you know, there are bad humans, most of them, but, you know, not all of them are bad. It's just, you know, Deku's, you know, all he meets are bad people besides his mother. And he technically doesn't see his mother as human either. He kind of sees his mother as like, you know, the queen almost. So yeah. Or more of a pet. Yeah, he would see his mother as a pet. Because I mean, yeah. Kind of like Omni-Man, but like a reverse-ish thing. So yeah. I don't know. As soon as Deku gets out, he instantly transforms. Ugh. That human form. Ugh. It gets all my joints twisted. Ugh. As you know, Barricade pulls up. Lord Megatron, how may I be of service to you today? Nothing. Everything is fine. As you know, they're both walking like 20 feet tall, just walking. No, that'd be decent amount. Yeah, this would be tall. So you know, they're just walking to, you know, the bridge. As you know, the sludge villain pops out. Both of them, you know, they pull. You know, they're like, guns are pointed. So yeah, sludge villain wasn't. They were at the best of times. So yeah, he gets lit up like the 4th of July. Sludge villain's just everywhere, like not one piece is in one spot, like just like kind of like rain. It's just everywhere, my guy. So yeah, sludge villain gets just destroyed. Barricade, you know, Deku just roll out, yeah. Don't know what that was about. Pathetic human thought he could take me. Should bow down. Now. Eventually, this would get, you know, catch the eye of a very unique Decepticon. Soundwave. From, you know, a distant, how do you say, not space station, but satellite. As, you know, he gets the signal of Lord Megatron. And he gets confused because he notices, hold up. Because you know, he reports back to, you know, Megatron 1. So yeah. Which, you know, he's confused as well, meaning that eventually he does, you know, figure out, oh snap, if he dies, I die. Full thrusters ahead. We gotta go before that dude dies and I die. So yeah. Eventually, you know, Soundwave does disconnect from the radio, from, you know, the satellite, and, you know, falls to Earth. Eventually, you know, he does, you know, follow Megatron 2's, you know, signal. So, it's, from what I can tell, it said Japan. Huh. Okay, this will be simple. I get him and I get out. By this time, Deku would have a decent amount of things outside. What do I mean by this? Let me just, hold up, what are all the names? I'm about to just pull up with like a few names just off the bat, just saying. Okay, so let's see, now that's Soundwave? Decepticon. I was gonna say Predacon, but that would make no sense though. So, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, okay, let's see what I can do with this. And now Soundwave, You know what? For reasons, I'll say Deku just has like a barrage of like cop vehicles at his disposal. Just like a major of just cop Decepticons at his disposal by now. So yeah. How much about? I'll say about 11 or like 30 range, 20, 30 range. I'm not gonna lie. He been grinding on that scrap. Not gonna lie, he been grinding on that scrap. So yeah. Yeah, just letting you know, as soon as stuff goes down in the USJ, that's gonna be the beginning of the war. Like, there is no normal My Hero Academia for this. Like, as soon as it hits the USJ, everything's going out the fan. Autobots show up, Decepticons show up, Megatron 1's gonna show up, flippin' everyone gonna show up, just everyone. So yeah, it's gonna be a big battle. As you know, Deku, at this point, people have, UA has been suspecting something. That, there's been a large amount of cops in the area. A very large amount of comps. In this, it's just, Deku's smart, but he's not that smart. So, he didn't, plan on, them separating. But eventually, heroes do get, some... They do find out, where all the cops are coming from. They kind of have it down low with Aizawa and, Midnight, all the secret heroes in the night. So, all the cops do return to this weird, like the Dagobah Beach isn't Dagobah Beach anymore. It kind of looks like a army grounds, almost, kind of. So, yeah, it does, it is army grounds. At this point, Deku made it that way. So, gates, sandbags, everything you can call. So, yeah. Deku, what do I mean he used, the Transformium to build a lot of stuff? He meant it, meaning that all of Dagobah Beach and some, a base in the water, deep in the water, is, kind of controlled by him. And if you say otherwise, this man got 20 flippin' just cop Decepticons on your ass. Don't fight with this man. Like, bruh, don't. So, yeah. Yeah. Deku not gonna lie, Deku kind of made his own, mini army. So, he was like, if I make an army base, it's not gonna look that weird. As you know, the heroes, I'll say that entire street or that entire part of, the block is owned by Deku. So, as soon as the heroes, enter it, Deku instantly knows that, someone's in his territory. Because let's say, he eventually, he does have people, Decepticons left and right in that block. Everything, every car in that block is a Decepticon. Every car in that block, including Dagobah Beach. Meaning that Deku got, 50 people right now. 50 people on the bat. This man got, a mini army, and he's ready to prepare it. I mean, the only reason he hasn't is because, they got All Might, which All Might can just, Detroit Smash, just spam Detroit Smash with, Overhaul, All for One. He does know there are people that, do want to use, Sabertronians for, their own beings, as, human race would. So, yeah. Kind of make, same mistake as, last night or, practically. Make, the default flipping just, human made Decepticon just weird noise. Yeah. Everything's quiet. Everything's quiet. That entire block is run by Deku. Underground, secretly, it's run by Deku. People at that point, they don't care, because they do, they were scared at the beginning. But as soon as, they saw that no villains, there were no attacks anymore, it was peaceful. Nothing went wrong in that part, that block. Nothing went wrong. Exactly nothing. Just, everything was peaceful. And, the heroes were curious. Yeah, they were very curious. They sit down. As soon as, people saw heroes, they're like, oh no. They don't know the rules, do they? Oh no. Quirk's not allowed. Oh no. This isn't good. They don't have a Cybertronian cuff, which Cybertronian cuffs are, things to, let let Megatron know you're on his side, If you're on his side, or Deku's side technically, he will, protect you. Kind of like a better version of Megatron, but he is Megatron, he is still evil, but he kind of takes it in more of a better way than Megatron did. So yeah. So, you know, as soon as people saw that didn't have bracelet, you know, the Cybertronian bracelets, you know, they instantly knew, oh no, they're outsiders. Oh, this isn't going to be good. Everyone started, you know, running inside, because, you know, I'll say the streets, you know, there were a lot of people in the streets. You know, as soon as they saw outsiders from, you know, outside the block, they're like, oh no. Like, they just, you know, everyone just ran inside, closed the doors, locked the doors, like, Megatron's not gonna like this. Ooh. I'll say, you know, that entire block is gated off, so they do have gates there. I'll say they did break down the gates, which immediately alerted, you know, Barricade, because let's say Barricade's like the captain, like he's like, okay, so there's the governor, which is, you know, Barricade, and, you know, there's Deku, which is the ruler of all. So yeah. So, Lord Megatron isn't gonna like this. He's too. I'll communicate him right now. As you know, they do have, you know, Cybertronian technology at this point. A lot of it too. Like, not a lot, but, you know, they have, a gun, you know, 2, 3 guns for like every Cybertronian. Or, you know, I'll say they only have like 1 gun for like every Cybertronian, 1 or 2 guns forever. You know, they got, you know, their first arm, and, you know, they got their side arm. Which, yeah. Because, you know, it is scarce, it is scarce. It wasn't that big of a seed. It kind of, you know, yeah, it was, you know, very big, which they do, you know, it's just, they need, you know, the technology, they don't have enough of it to kind of, you know, have it on, you know, the next level. They kind of have like a scavenger almost. So, yeah. I mean, Scavenger's there, but I mean, he's more of the lines of... Now, Scavenger's more, he's kind of, like, you know, on the outside barriers of the block, which, you know, he kind of, you know, goes there disguised as, like, a car just going through. Kind of like the lookout, almost. Which, you know, they did, you know, Decepticons pulled up to, you know, the heroes, you know, everyone in that block, you know, they do have color, you know, they do have codes. They also have, you know, things on their arm, you know, kind of like it shows their, flipping code, or, you know, serial number on their wrist or something, knowing that, you know, they're under the protection of, you know, Megatron, so yeah. Which, you know, they're like, what, you know, the Decepticons are like, what number are you, blah, 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 you know, saying, you know, they notice they don't have numbers. Freeze, as you know, da-da-da. They're kind of surrounded by, like, Decepticons. The heroes are like, hold up. We just came here to just check out everything. Like, bro, we don't mean to, like, we don't mean to fight. Like, bro, like, when I mean they got big guns, they got big guns, bro. Like, I'll say it was Midnight, Aizawa. I'll say Vlad King was there. You know, a couple other heroes. I'll say Mirko was there as well. As you know, I'll say there was only 3 maybe at the time, because, you know, each cop, or, you know, each Decepticon has their own portion of the land they gotta guard. So yeah. Deku, what he's trying to make a stronghold. Where, kind of like a super base where not even Optimus can kind of break in. So yeah, he's slowly and surely making a stronghold. Like a very stronghold. Like indestructible almost. So yeah. I mean, it's nowhere near that, but I mean, it's somewhat still a stronghold. So I'll say Mirko, Ryoko, a couple other heroes are there. 3, you know, Decepticons pull up in like a triangle formation. Why are you here? Why are you not inside? As you know, I'll say, you know, they did get, you know, the communications from, you know, not Barricade, from Scavenger. Hey, yo, cops, there's some heroes coming. As you know, then they realize, oh snap, you're the heroes. Freeze. You don't got numbers. Freeze. Da-da. So, you know, they do, you know, Ryoko was like, bruh, dragon form. Whee! Just rips apart like 3 of them. Which instantly puts like red light, like bruh. Sirens, like, because I say, as soon as one of them dies, there's like this siren that goes through, all the Decepticons, or like in, this, not the sky, but on the top of the edge of every building, there's, alarms, which, as soon as, 3 Decepticons go down, as you know, there's a red alarm. Everyone's like, oh no, Barricade about to be coming. Like, bruh. Barricade is like the captain, the chief. Like, he there, and then there's Megatron, which the only way you're gonna get through, the only way you're gonna go to Megatron is if you kill Barricade. Then you're really done for, because Megatron being about, like, fusion cannon, douche! So, yeah, practically. So, okay. As no, they're fighting through, Decepticons. Because remember, Deku only has 50 Decepticons. Ryoko's a giant dragon. Mirko has super strength. I'll say, no, Midnight wouldn't be able to do anything. But I'll say Aizawa, I'll say he's able to do some type of, Levi stuff. Kind of, use their weapons against each other, so yeah. Nah, because he doesn't know the technology. So, I'll say he kind of, found some type of knife or something to stab into, the Cybertronians or something. So, yeah. I'll say by the time Barricade does get there, 20 of the Decepticons are already, taken down. Which just alarms, as soon as 5 of them are taken down, Barricade's, called, and as soon as 10 are taken down, Megatron's called, which, that's Deku. Deku's like, nah, bro, y'all killing my people, I can't have that, nah, no. As you know, he coming, Barricade's like, oh... Okay, we don't need war right now. Like, Barricade, like, he's kind of like the barrier between Deku making, like, a mini war almost, so yeah. Deku's like, Barricade's like, oh no. Lord Megatron, 20 have fallen. What? By who? Heroes. From what I can see, scans say Mirko, Ryoko, and he names down like the 20 list of heroes that like are there. Which there's like a decent, like there's a lot of heroes there. Which kind of take down like 20, like just 20 Decepticons off the bat, which angers, Barricade. Brethren, you have fallen. As Barricade appears, shooting, I'll say he does kill like 3 heroes, not gonna lie. Before he does, get outpaced by, Mirko and, like, the main cast. Which I'll say I'll say All Might's there. Why not? I'll say All Might, I'll say, 30 of them, so that means there's only 20 left. So, yeah. Megatron's coming, but, Megatron's, like, all the way in the sea. Like, he's all the way, the sea base, which he's driving, like, he's like, like, he's he's in his, jet form, so he's speeding, like, so yeah, he real fast. This man's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'll say, Ryoko was like, what are these? Are these by someone's quirk? As they're about to kill Barricade, and as that's when, you see a missile shoot Mirko right in the chest, blowing her back by, like, knocking her out, almost. No, actually, yeah, she is knocked out. Wait, can she take a missile? I mean, she has a dragon. I'll say she can take a couple missiles, so yeah. She's, blown away by, Deku, my man Deku. He on that douche, he transforms. He's just a fusion cannon on, Ryoko. Douche! Blasting her away. Dodging, dodge, weave, dodge, weave, dodge, weave. Mirko fast as flip, bro. Like, so, dodge and weave. This man, Megatron, is just outclassing the heroes just by kind of dodging, mostly. Foo. He does kill, like, 5 of them, though. He does kill 5 of the heroes. But those are, like, side heroes, though. Not important heroes, but side heroes. Foo. Like, he's kind of like a Madara-ish Shinobi Alliance. So, he's just taking down people left and right. Like, you have killed my people. Do. So, yeah. And then, All Might comes in. Toshinari, we need you. Da-da-da. I'm here. As you know, it's All Might versus. Da da da. No one. Why? Because my boy Megatron appears. My boy, #1 Megatron. Yeah, all the spaceship that they kind of made. I'll say they made a smaller spaceship, still flipping big. But eventually, there's 2 spaceships. One that Megatron's on, and the other one that's being rebuilt, and that's kind of being sent to Earth, the giant spaceship. So yeah. Yeah, Deku's here. Deku right now, he meets Megatron face to face, about to kill him, like All Might. Like All Might was about to get a fusion cannon to the face until Megatron showed up. I mean, a coincidence, but yeah. As you know, it's kind of like a Megatron-esque Megatron fight. As you know, they eventually know. So are you me? As you know, they kind of, they do chillax. And eventually, do talk to each other. Starscream, the Decepticons in the spaceship, they do fly down. And now, when I mean that stuff is a stronghold, it is a stronghold now. Like, that entire base is just a stronghold. So, yeah, it's like nothing, nobody's touching that. Decepticons, like, 20 flipping Decepticons on every street. Like, bruh, not one street is safe from Decepticons. Like, bruh. As you know, they eventually, they do eventually split their, make, a spark between, Megatron and Megatron. They do split it. As you know, Megatron, Deku does, have Megatron, there's this and this and this. And, they, share command, practically. They do share command. Because, Shockwave is, like, interesting. So... Interesting. You're able to make Cybertronian technology out of human materials. Interesting. As you know... Oh, by the way, what happened to Heroes, they kind of, they're kind of, in their, Cybertronian, I'll say police station, because I say, they do got police station. But it's like Cybertronian version of a police station. So, kind of like Lockdown's prison. So, kind of like that. So, they kind of slammed them in there. Yes. I see. Let them go. Next time I won't go so easy on you. If it was up to me, I would have killed you right then and there. But of course, the only reason he could have killed, All Might is because he had the fusion cannon and alien technology that can actually kill humans instantly. So yeah. Which now there's just kind of a battle between, like, not gonna lie, it's kind of, there's not a battle, but there's kind of, arguments between, sides and whatnot. Which, Deku does allow Megatron to, take over, but, Deku's kind of like, I need to make my own spark. So, he's on that, direction. Because, he is a bit weaker due to not having a full spark. So, he starts creating his own spark. And, this spark is specifically created to kind of like the Iron Man suit or something similar. Like it uses the sun to charge itself, practically. Kind of like it's powered by sun. Not it's powered by sunlight, but it's confusing. Sun panels or energy panels, whatever they are called. So yeah. eventually, Deku does finish with his spark. And, he does give, the other part of his spark to Megatron. Which, it's weird. But the difference is that, when he kind of gave Megatron the spark, they kind of shared consciousness. So kind of, yeah, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, yeah. As you know, Deku's body fell down. As you know, Megatron spoke. As you know, Deku and Megatron are now one, and kind of have, the other body as like an extra body.